Hi, I thought I'd give you an additional video log in addition to the one that I've just written. I've just been lecturing some university students from Sheffield Hallam University, and I started to compare these young people with young soldiers and look at the disparity between um, university students and young men and young women who are about to join the army. And I started thinking about the question of whether or not we, as ex-servicemen, if we've got anything to offer. And I've just written my thoughts, and I've just been having a Google around, having a look at some of the issues that would-be employers have, some of the perceptions that they have against the forces. Um, and it's a case of the old Kipling poem, Tommy this and Tommy that, and get to the back of the queue, but when the band begins to play. Um, the British forces at the moment, the public have got a great affinity to us, and they have a lot of support for the British soldier. However, when we come out of the forces, we have to ask ourselves, have we got any real skills that we can transfer? Now, the British forces will um, say that we have got trades that can be easily transferred, but I don't believe that. I do believe that there is a misconception about shiny shoes and our discipline putting us ahead of the civilian workforce. I just don't believe that at all, because civilians can look smart and civilians turn up on time. That's just one of the things. I think that's a misconception. I do think that we have got some skills, and I was thinking back to some of the things that I did as a soldier. I was involved most of my career as a training instructor, and as we all know, that the British forces, they break down um, their individual training directives into tactical situations where it's all possible, and the same format is most of the time it's followed, where you practicality and the classroom work, get outside, try and do it practically, and try and put the soldier under a bit of stress. And this does a number of things, and it gives you a lot of skills. I think, when you think about your first aid training, and even putting a wheel on a trailer, there's always another dimension which gives you a lot of skills which can be transferred into the workplace. Now, the problem is convincing the would-be employer about this. So I think that it's something to concentrate on, especially your interview techniques, when they're asking you what can you bring to the table. And I think that you need to put a bit of a slant on this. Now, I'm not an expert by a long chalk, because I've been self-employed since 2006. Since the day I came out of the army, I haven't worked for anybody. But I have successfully got some civic appointments where I've had to express some of the skills that I think I had, and some of the situations. And I think that is something to stress when, if you are in a situation where you're being interviewed. If they ask you what things you can bring to the table, you bring a lot of lateral thinking. Because if you remember, or if you realise that some of the big companies, they send their workforce on executive stretches where they will actually mimic and parallel military training without the tactical situation, but they'll put their workforce under stress. And if you think about some of the things that we've done normally 2 or 3 times a year, like command tasks, for instance, it's not about putting the barrels over the rope. It's about working as a team, and working as a leader. And there's a lot of skills, a lot of skills to be learned from that. And that's the sort of thing that you need to tell an employer, I think, saying that you've had lots and lots of experience of situations where you've worked in some very stressful things. I think it's a good thing to avoid combat situations, because that might scare it would be employers. I think that most ex-servicemen will have had experience in many operations: Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, and there will be lots and lots of situations which I think it might actually scare or make a would-be employer feel a little bit uncomfortable. So you can put a bit of spin on that. I think. Now, don't forget, this is just my blog. It's just my personal thoughts. It's not based on any scientific evidence or anything like that. But would I employ somebody who can turn around to me and say that on a regular basis they have been doing this sort of training? Well, I think that I would be impressed with it, and I think it would show me that somebody's not just trying to convince me. They're saying that they've got a real experience base where they can say that they've had situations which have evolved them, standing back, looking at a situation, assessing it, looking at the right way to do things, passing on communication, being calm, under stressful situations like so. And that's in addition to the specialist training that you've all received. But it might be food for thought. Anyway, that's what I was thinking about today, and that's what my blog has been about today. I'll speak to you soon, and stay safe.